is a mustard seed. Then nurture it, water it, grow it into that tree in your rainforest. We will be highlighting one of the prevalent social issues in our society. That we love and trust, and by people that are strangers. Dear Jake, I am not a dreamer, but tonight I'm gonna have a dream about your seed given, fertilized in post-incubation in this womb. They would have your eyes, your lips. I am not a believer of love, but since you happened, the iceberg in the chamber that used to be my heart is beginning to thaw and defrost, and the slow melt is pulling right here, flooding this organism with the realization that true love must exist. Your first sighting of me was 20 days ago, and whether or not I believe in love at first sight, that is inconsequential, because you are shattering my worldview, making me question my ideals, my beliefs, my philosophy. Yes, I love you, and what I want is to be with you permanently. I do not want to encounter any hurdles loving you. However, in the event that I do, I will seduce you with my words, charm you with my lips, arouse you with my form, mesmerize you with my love. I will enthrall you with my desire. I will remind you with my heart that now beats and reverberates in your chest. So here's hoping this poem answers your question. Yes, I love you, and will quit only when the world stops. Welcome to Our Reality with Skye. On today's episode, we'll be doing part 2 of Love, Dating, Submission. Welcome to Our Reality with Skye. On today's show, we'll be talking love, dating, submission. With us is Priska.
Hi, Skye.
Hi, reintroduce
Nice
yourself.
Okay, I'm Priska Atolagbe. I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a businesswoman, I'm a lover of God, a presenter, a TV host. That's it basically in a
All
nutshell.
right.
Yeah.
The last time she was here, we were talking the same thing, and she had a lot to say. So this is part 2 of the show. Priska, you heard my poem. Now I talked about, what did you think?
That was heavy. I heard it, I felt you. I heard you loud and clear. It was deep, it was real, it was practical. I mean, speaking about the hearts, the iceberg breaking and melting and falling for you, I mean, it was genuine, and I think it's what's been appreciated.
So in these parts, in sub-Saharan Africa, does love like this exist? Because you remember the last show we talked about, we ended the show with what? Dating in recent times, and how people are more about, are more about how financially stable is a man before they date or marry.
So I didn't give myself to him. Well, if that's what you're paramount about, I think you would miss this kind of love that you just expressed in this poem.
Well said.
Yeah, so you have to really, do I really want to feel this? It's really beautiful to be vulnerable and safe at the same time.
Right.
So you have to really be ready, be set to experience it and look away from every other material assets that can come with it. And along the line, if God blesses you, you have the both. It's
so I should marry a poor
love
man.
in Disney. No, that's what I'm saying. See. Get a life, oh. Don't go and say it's love you want to be eating. You'll be hungry and frustrated out of the love.
Okay, so how do we remedy it? How do we find You
A
know what?
balance.
Yes, because we said, for viewers who did not watch the last show, we said that according to Priska and I, we said that if you're dating somebody for material reasons, for material gain, so if you're dating to marry or just dating somebody for a phone, for payment of rent, for whatever, you are a call girl. We went gangster with it. We did not mince words.
We went
We're
it.
not, yes, we're not sugarcoating. If you're dating for financial gain, you are a call girl. Now, in the same vein, she's saying don't date somebody who is broke. So where do we find
Okay.
the
There is something
balance?
I would never forget, and I'll tell my sons. As a man, I learned this from my pastor. He would always tell the men around us, forget about love. If you've not had your hand doing something, if you don't have something doing, forget about love. You can't be wicked to want is to starve a man's daughter, somebody's child, because you're in love. So he tells every guy around him, all his members and every male around him, see, go out there and make a living for yourself before you think of love. Love can be consuming. It's so strong a force that if you don't have certain things in place, basically, you might struggle and then the love could turn sour. So that's the balance. For men, it's now this is the man's responsibility. Before you fall in love with a woman, before you get a woman emotionally attached to you for real, I'm not saying you shouldn't start getting to know yourselves for real. You must have had your hand working out something. You must be going somewhere already. You must be chasing a handwork,
Yes.
a job,
Right.
something that puts food on your table, something that gives you a roof over your
Right.
head. You must be productive as a
Right.
man before you engage a lady in this thing called love.
So now let's talk about intimacy prior to marriage. How intimate can I get with a partner?
Well, we just have to call a spade a spade. Most times we don't want to hear the truth, but it's the truth. It's a bitter pill to swallow. A lot of us has fallen short of it, but the fact still remains that sex before marriage is wrong.
I like that you said that.
We just have to rule that point in capital letters. Sex before marriage is wrong. It shouldn't be. It can occupy the space in which trust is supposed to grow. You're carried away, your flesh is involved, your organs are already involved. You're no longer thinking wholesomely. Sometimes your organs think for you. That is why it's not advisable. We don't advise people to engage in that sexual act before marriage, so that you can think properly, so that you can see clearly, understand these persons, because you can get biased once you're already sexually involved with someone. That emotion is so strong that it can dilute your thoughts. Exactly, basically.
So, Priska, my viewers, and based off of their feedback, they're very real people. I get asked very hard questions. And when I tell people premarital sex is wrong, of course, from a Christian standpoint, we do know that.
Even both sides, the
Yes.
Christians and the other side.
Right. We know that. But people say to me, I do God. I do God very hard. People say to me, and when I tell people don't have sex before marriage, they say to me, somebody, and over, how do you know that you are sexually compatible prior to marriage? I have an answer for that. The answer that I give them over and over again. First of all, I'll ask you that. And then second of all, I'll ask you, is it really possible? Because people think that I'm crazy when I say don't have sex prior to getting married. Now, we've done a lot. We've said a lot. We'll let you ponder all that we've discussed, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, our viewers. We're here with Priska. Now, let's talk relationship violence or domestic violence, like relationship abuse. Yes, that sort of thing. We were talking earlier, and this is very exciting. We were talking earlier, and You said. Tell us what. Tell. You know where I'm going with this.
Just ask the question, sis, so that they get it.
All right. So apparently, I didn't hear the entire story because I was waiting to hear it with you, my viewers. She said something about being. Were you beaten?
I wasn't beaten, but I was emotionally abused. I don't think I've ever felt that way. I was in a relationship with this guy. I really loved him. Well, at that time, at that stage in my life, I don't know if that was love, but I think I really felt something for him. And I was down for him. I wasn't looking elsewhere. Unfortunately, this brother wasn't even down for me, and I was just foolish in love. What broke? I didn't know all of this. Oh, he was so smooth. He was so sleek. I didn't know all of this until I was to go to my house one day, and
You haven't told us what the emotional abuse is because a lot of people don't. Oh, right.
Hold up, sis. So I moved my bag that I came with. I said, let me go back to my house. And then something said, just pick his phone and call someone. So I picked his phone and I saw that he changed my name. He saved my name as baby, but he changed it to my name and added my school name, meaning I was just a basic chick. So imagine how you would feel when you see that. And then there was this other chick that I think I heard he liked, so he saved her name as baby. And then
so that was main chick, and then you were side.
It was like he was playing the both of us.
You. Okay, great.
None of us deserved that. Not me, not the other lady. I felt broken. I felt cheated. I felt used. I felt foolish. I started crying. I broke down.
Right.
I also got a little bit abusive because I started breaking things. It was so strong.
Did you hit him?
I didn't hit him. I broke, I think, my phone, his laptop, his phone. So I was really furious. Like, how can you do that to me?
Right.
I loved you, sir. I loved you. I loved you.
Right.
If I went to his laptop, he had deleted all our pictures, all our videos, all our good memories, and replaced it with the other. The guy was good.
Girl, you were. I think
the guy was good. That was terrible.
Do you think now? When I asked, were you side? I think you're in denial. I think you were side.
I was in denial.
You were a side chick because
I was a side chick because when she was coming, he replaced.
Imagine. Do you think he did it for her? Like, did you see your photos?
I would say he did it for her because she sees us together. She sees us together. Right. She hears stories about us too.
Okay, she knew about you. Or
she knew about me. She knew I was in the picture, but she was the same way I looked away, but the same way she looked away.
So both of you were.
He was playing
tolerant.
With both of us.
Yeah. So there was no side
or a buffoon.
So what was it about this guy? Was he charming? Was he really good looking? What? You've established that it wasn't money.
It's so funny. It wasn't money. Far from money. Yeah. I think what I used to rate him then is not what I used to rate him now because I'm a lot more wiser.
Right.
I liked him because to me he was handsome, but I look at him now and he looks off my spec. He looks off my type. So I was really naive. I was young.
I still have to ask, do you think that he was deleting your photos for her? Like doing what he was doing for you? Was he doing it for her?
Yes, because as at the time I was in the house, I didn't see any of her photos in his laptop. I didn't see her number saved with anything emotional. I didn't see anything on her. So but when I was leaving, so we were just here, I'm telling you.
Now that's sad. That to you is emotional abuse. Yes. What else points to emotional abuse?
When the love you desire is not given back to you.
Did he say derogatory things to you?
No, he was so perfect. That's why he came so strong. Because I did not even imagine, like, so I've just been in denial, like I've just been living a lie. He was so perfect. I didn't think he would do that to me. He took me everywhere. What makes some young people experience this kind of thing is because they come from dysfunctional families. I come from a dysfunctional home.
Okay.
My mom and my dad, they've been separated for a very long time. You can imagine the traumatic event. And then the things I'm supposed to hear from my dad, oh, my baby girl, you're not supposed to do this. You're supposed to be treated like this. This is how your man is supposed to treat you. I didn't get that from my dad. My mom only gave me what her instincts could give us. But
Right.
that fatherly advice, that care, I never got it.
On our reality with Skye, we don't just pose questions, we try and find practical, real solutions. Now, if somebody was coming from a dysfunctional family, how do we fix that? Now, I ask these questions because these are the questions I get from my from viewers, feedback.
It's
That
a
sort of.
very good question.
How do I fix it?
Yes, I think everybody who cares about where he or she is going to in life should ask this question. It's very
Yes.
practical and
Yeah.
real. It's as simple. It's simple. Knowledge. Seek knowledge. Get a
Okay.
mentor.
Right.
You must make up your mind that, you know what, I will not be affected, or I will not be a victim of certain patterns of life. We all have that instinct. We have people we look up to. Oh my God, I love this family. Oh my God. That way, you'll be drawn to the person. If you can meet the person one-on-one, you'll be drawn to ask the person, hi, ma'am. Hello, sir. I'm on this journey. I love you. I love how you're doing your thing. I would want to be like you. That's getting a mentor and becoming a mentee.
Okay.
Now they would now show you the path because they've been down that road you're about to pass through. So they
Right.
show you. We advise young people, get a mentor
Okay.
in that area. If you know that you're really naive and you're not savvy in this love thing, you're always being cheated, pause. Take a break from relationships. Take a break and go submit yourself under mentorship, the right mentorship. You can say I have a mentor, but your mentor is pimping you with other men out there.
Love
so just
that.
get a rich, yes.
So we're going off what you said. We're going to pause and we'll be right back. Welcome back. We're talking love, dating, submission with Priska. Now we're talking about domestic or relationship abuse. Now you talked about emotional. That is key. Like emotional, we don't even see it because a lot of people recognize, physical abuse. And have you ever been in an abusive relationship physically?
abuse.
Yes.
No, I've not been in.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What you were talking about your friend Elia?
Yes. Yeah, so rest in peace. So that's like the summary of it.
What?
She died. Yes, she died in the arms of her lover. This is someone who was supposed to love her, someone who was supposed to nurture, care for her.
This is someone you know.
Yes, someone I know. The thing that hurts me more, and the reason why I don't take her story lightly,
Right.
while she was going through the process, while he was always abusing her, she would call me, oh my God, Priska, I'm in the bathroom now. He's just hit me. He's hitting me. I had to run. I had to hide. And I'm like, leave the house now. Go now. Run away.
Are you sure he
and
was
guess what
letting
she
her?
says?
What?
I don't have money. This is why we say get a life. We're getting there. We're getting there. She was in love. But he was crazy. He was toxic for her. He needed help. But she didn't know. And she can't offer the kind of help that he needs. She can't give that to him. But she kept staying there. It was so bad that he would pour, maybe if he's drinking liquor, he could pour it in her eyes out of the vexation he feels or he felt at that point. One time he did it and then she calls me. I was always trying to make sure she was calm and had her senses in check. She was almost losing it. Long story short, one time after he dealt with her, and the thing about these abusive partners, they are so perfect that they would deal with you. When you're done crying, they come, they pet you, they beg you. Sometimes they cry. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I won't do it again. Sometimes they go as far as buying you gifts to shut you down, to make you quiet, to make you think, okay, he's sorry. But he does it again. And then he buys you a bigger gift. That's the same thing he did to my late friend. He was doing that to my late friend. He would get her the latest iPhone, deal with her again whenever he's upset, and then get her a car, deal with her again. He would always level up the gifts so that she would always stay.
Did he love her?
Well, she said, but looking at the statistics, we would not rate that as love. You don't hurt what you love. We talked about that in the first show.
Was he an angry person?
I think he had issues. A lot of people need help, but they do not know. When people hear mental health, they think it's about people who are mad or crazy or running on the street. No, depression can make people do certain harsh and violent things. So maybe he was going through all of that and we did not know. Maybe he had certain issues he could not share, or he didn't even know he had, like I said before. So she went through all of that because she thought he would change.
How did she
The
die?
truth is, well, after he dealt with her one time, I think they were on their way to go clean her up or something at the hospital, and
He had beaten her?
he had beaten her recently. So I think they were going to the hospital or so somewhere. They were driving and they had an accident, and he died, and she died. So this was really heart wrecking to me. It was really heart wrecking. No fellow, both men and women deserve to be in an abusive relationship.
Where is he
Even
now?
men too. Well, who knows? Nobody knows. Nobody knows where he is now. He could be on the run. He could, nobody knows. But she died in his car.
Coming
basically.
back from being treated after abuse.
Yes, because I remember shortly after she complained to me after a very serious batter, that incident happened. They just called me and said, "Oh, your friend is late," this and that. I was heartbroken. I was shattered because I felt I could have saved her from that situation. So I always used her story.
How could you have saved her, Priska?
Okay, one of the ways I could have saved her, I could have sent her money to leave.
Would she have left?
She sounded like she was ready to leave. But the guy was so sweet. He would always come back with a gift. And she had thirst for material things. What we talked about in the previous show.
Right.
You can become oppressed by by the man if he notices or if he knows that you're after these things. So he sits on you, or he gives you what you want, or you're his punching bag, so to say. He releases his emotions on you. So that's it basically. And I always tell her story. And
so why didn't you send her money?
Why didn't I send her money? Like I said, I do business. I'm a businesswoman. So I think that period I stopped and I was yet to start my sales.
Was it only the abuse? I'm sorry to ask you these questions because I'm really, I can't believe this in all honesty. Was it really a short period of time that this happened, or over a span of years? Because
when you say years, I laugh. Why would you give yourself to a man you just met? We advise young people, you should not stay with your boyfriend. She just met this guy, and shortly after she started going to his house to spend the weekend. Shortly after, it turned to 2 weeks. This stay at his house was almost getting to a month. Your parents believe you're in school. They sent you to school, but you're in love and you let that love consume you, that you abandon the essence of your life at that particular stage, and you're all over a man who is supposed to be all over you. So misplaced priority leaves us victims of circumstances such as this.
Love it. Love it. On this note, we'll take a break. We want you viewers to ponder all that we have said. Be careful what you do. Do not just move in or give yourself to somebody who hasn't earned the right to be with you. I repeat, do not give yourself to someone, male or female, who has not earned the right to be with you, because you might not really know. We don't really know anybody, but we need some time to at least get to know certain key things about them. We'll be back. Welcome back. Before the break, we talked about domestic abuse. In fact, relationship abuse. We've learned so much. Now we'll move on to Mr. and Mrs. Right. How do we know? Because you said a lot. Before the break, you said that we should not just move in with somebody we did not know, or just entrust ourselves to somebody we do not know.
Yeah, so the number one thing I would say about finding Mr. or Mrs. Right, look away from it. Take your mind off it. Work on being Mr. or Mrs. Right. Stop being on the lookout for that perfect man you want, that you lose sight on working on yourself. Which leads me to my second point. Get a life. Get a life. Get something doing. Learn a skill. If you're in school, focus. Make sure you're improving. Which will lead me to my third point.
Right.
Your appearance matters. Your inner beauty also matters. as a man, your inner characters. Real men don't beat their women. Build those stamina inside of you. As a woman, build your inner beauty. Work on yourself.
Okay.
Get a life. Focus on being the Mr. or Mrs. Right that you want.
How do I work on myself?
Fine.
I'm a person who wants to be better, better character, better, with my interactions with people. I want to be a better person. How do I become better? How do I work on my character?
Okay, one of the major ways to that is finding purpose. I would say find purpose.
Okay.
And purpose is not a place like, oh, I'm here now. This is my purpose. You have to walk. Get on that journey to purpose.
Okay.
People say, what's purpose? We hear this thing, purpose. How do I identify it? How do I know it? All of us are different. We are dynamic. What you love, I don't love. So that thing you love, inside it lies your purpose. That thing you love to do, that sparks up, that makes you happy. You render solutions, help, what you do with ease, what you do smoothly, gracefully. In there lies your purpose. So find it, channel it to provide solution to the people around you. By so doing, you're growing and getting better.
Oh, wow, Priska. I cannot thank you enough. I have learned a lot from you. And I know that our viewers have. Thank you so much.
Thank
That's
you.
our show. Goodbye.